Although COVID-19 patients are no longer hospitalized here, Cone Health's Green Valley campus is still home to a monoclonal antibody infusion clinic. Sometimes, especially on stormy days, the power can go out like that. And what matters to you at that point is how quickly it comes back on.
You can just see how strong these winds are. I'm not even on the beach. I'm at Johnny Mercer's Pier in Wrightsville Beach, as you were saying, and you can just see the sand just slapping me in the face. It's pretty incredible stuff.
If you get pulled over in Greensboro, the officer can ask for verbal permission to search your car. But a proposed change would mean the officer would need you to fill out a form first. If I'm being completely honest, when I see this, and more of this, I'm frustrated. I'm rolling my eyes. I'm thinking to myself, why? Why would you do this? Well, to get a better perspective on that, I went to Dr. Nanette Funderburg, a psychotherapist, and asked her about panic buying.
He was just always the bright spot and always encouraging and telling us to hold our heads up. So we hold on to that voice.
Dawn Johnson holds tight to the memory of her son, Ross. He was only 21 when he was gunned down in late October, leaving behind a 3-year-old daughter and a fiance.
He loved the holidays, he loved family get-togethers, and we couldn't even have Thanksgiving because I could not get with my parents and the family without him there because his absence was so strong.
On October 22nd, someone shot and killed him as he sat in a car at Sneed and Benson Streets in Reedsville. It's been nearly 2 months and still no suspects.
The shooting took place in a neighborhood. We know that there are people who have information that have not come forward or have not responded.
We miss our children. We lost too many.
This week, the family also mourns the loss of their daughter. 1 year ago, 24-year-old Taylor Johnson overdosed and died after taking fentanyl-laced Xanax. Her death, also an open case for Reedsville police to find the person who gave it to her. Ross and Taylor's father, Alan, says it's hard to keep the faith.
The holidays are gonna be surreal. A lot of pleasure in getting the gifts, but a lot of sorrow because they're not there to share it with us.
This is a small community. This has been my home for 48 years, and I thought I was raising my children in a safe community.
They know they can't bring them back, but this family does hope for answers and for justice. From the comfort of your couch, a world of choices. But between this and this, there's a lot of work in between. Your order has to come from somewhere, and soon that could be Kernersville.
Kernersville is basically, it's huge, a lot of opportunities.
Jaquan Russell
Yes.
will apply to work there.
I sure will. I apply for the administrative jobs and also do a warehouse job just to get my foot in the door.
Amazon reps say hiring will start toward the end of the summer with a Kernersville launch toward the end of 2020. But to get a feel for how our facility will look, I took a trip to Kannapolis, where the wheels haven't stopped turning since July 2018.
Definitely takes a lot of employees and a lot of associates, a lot of good, hardworking people to operate this building.
In fact, General Manager Shannon Todd
How you doing?
says it takes 1,000 people handling all parts of the process in a facility more than 1 million square feet in size.
Which is roughly the size of 17 football fields.
Tens of thousands of packages received, stowed, packed, and shipped daily.
We have a lot of products that are larger, so think about bags of dog food, pallets of water, canoes, fishing poles, things of that nature.
Smiles aren't only on the boxes, but also on the faces of workers like Paulise Hicks.
That was a life-changing decision because it offered the flexibility is what attracted me to the job.
She says $15 an hour plus benefits doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, I like being around different people and just learning different things.
Desiree Silvers.
I drive an order picker. I pull items from the aisles into my cage.
Says there's never a shortage of things to do.
It's a lot sometimes, but it's very exciting and it's really fun. And I tell people all the time, it's a great place to work.
And Ashley Hanna likes the potential to grow her career.
I mean, I hope to take Shannon's spot at some point. that's my goal. And I was in management for 10 years, so I want to be able to step up.
one of 3 Amazon fulfillment centers in the Charlotte area. It's not just the work inside the building the company is proud of.
It's been one of the best parts of working here, to be honest with you. It's great to see, a lot of the businesses in the surrounding community grow because we bring people here.
Back in Kernersville,
this is going to be very interesting. We expect only positive.
Community leaders are buzzing about what Amazon's footprint will look like.
Wow, what is this going to mean for all of us? Because it's important when folks have a job that they really love, that they're going to want to stay in that community and they're going to want to build their families here and do all those fun things when they're not at work.
Come summer 2020.
Great benefits, great pay, and it's just great. So you can't beat it. You have to want to join and to be a part of the company.
Jaquan will be one of potentially thousands taking that chance to apply, getting their foot in the door with a company, putting down roots and investing in the triad.
The potential there is limitless.
Alma McCarty, WFMY News 2. For me, things got real right here on this sidewalk, this patch of grass outside of the Greensboro Coliseum a year ago this week. We were a couple of days into the ACC tournament when our newsroom learned things were changing fast. It was March 2020, the second round of the ACC tournament underway. The UNC game, the very last to have fans. We spoke to several around that time.
I was thinking there might be a possibility this be canceled. It's been my only time to see this team and really support them, so that's why I came out.
We're just kind of grateful to be here, to be able to catch it.
We follow our team as much as we can, so I just heard the news and I'm just very disappointed.
Within a day, no fans became no more games. The ACC tournament canceled.
You realize that, hey, this thing done took an extra step. It's canceling basketball. It's almost stopping everything.
1 year later, now with a better understanding of the pandemic and vaccines rolling out daily, the men's ACC tournament is back in tournament town, along with the devoted fans, like Bill and Becky Faircloth, supporting Wake Forest University.
If anybody can pull it off, Greensboro can. So this is where it belongs, and this is where we're going to have it.
Even with limited attendance, Chris Williams and Ronnie Robertson couldn't miss it.
And this is ACC country.
Every year since 2007, they've attended the ACC tournament. This year, they say it's bittersweet after losing a close friend who used to travel with them on this very trip.
It was something close to our heart, and we ended up losing our friend in May.
Just to be back in and have basketball back to some type of normalcy. And, we sit and think, had we not lost him, he would be here with us. Not only that, he would want us to be here because they're having it.
A reminder of better times in years past, but a hope we're slowly making our way back to them. In Greensboro, Alma McCarty, WFMY News 2. If you see either of these stories on your feed, you'd probably assume they're real. Hey, they're heartwarming, they're positive, and you love seeing that on social media. Well, Professor Ananda Mitra with Wake Forest University says that's what the creators of pages like this one, called North Carolina Breaking News, want you to believe.
They said a really good thing about one thing. I'm sure they're good.
He says once a social media user shares a seemingly harmless story, they'll trust the rest of this account is legit, even if it isn't.
The real danger is once you get used to sharing and you decide, I shared a story from this group once before. It's come from the same group. It must be true. I share it again. You have been baited. You have been put in a position, geez, I'm not going to think about this anymore.
Mitra says Facebook users are generally older, and research shows they're more likely to trust others online.
And that is ideal for spreading stories like this. You got a trusting group who do not doubt as long as they feel the story is good.
So who's doing this and how can we stop it? Winston-Salem police say they've tried to contact the page administrators and were met with Russian responses. But Mitra says we might never know the true identity of the person behind the page. However, users can take an extra step before clicking like or share.
Because these are stories and stories can be made very compelling, what ends up happening, a compelling story is seductive. and it almost seduces you into hitting that share button. Let's not do that. Let's hold off for a second. Let's be a little bit more mindful.